What's up, y'all? I am at Central Avenue, Martin Luther King. And there is a CSX that's been sitting here for about 45 minutes westbound. In fact, I'll zoom in a little bit for you so you guys can kind of see it. Right there, there she is. She's just sitting there behind that little red warehouse there. Just sitting there. Been sitting there about 45 minutes now. I've heard other trains um, coming through on the CF and E. Both of them just, converge upon each other at Charleston, which is about a mile and a half or so west from here. This train has been sitting here on standby mode for about 45 minutes, like I said. And I'm frustrated. I know if I'm frustrated, the crew on that train got to also be frustrated. I can see them moving around in the windows or whatever. But there's absolutely no sign of this train moving. So I've been sitting here for 45 minutes, so I don't know how long they've been sitting here. Once again, I am at Martin Luther King and Central Avenue in Gary, Indiana. 1500 Central Avenue, essentially, where I'm parked across the street from that address. Yeah, but she's just sitting there, looking all CSXy. So there's no signals here that I could watch that can indicate anything that's going on. It's just a parked train. Headlights are off. And I know once I pull off, this train's gonna start moving. It happens like that all the time. So I'm gritting my teeth. I know soon as I move, this train's probably gonna light up and go. It's a windy day. It could be quite nice out here if the wind wasn't blowing, but there's a steady draft that's been blowing all morning into the afternoon. But the CSX train has been parked here for 45 minutes. And honestly, this is about the longest I've seen a CSX train parked right here. Well, actually, I've been here about 45 minutes. I don't know how long this train's been here, probably over an hour. But it's kind of weird. Now, they don't have to worry about blocking any crossings in Gary because this is the last, well, depending on what direction you're going, this would be the first crossing within the city on this line. But then you have Lake Station, which is all the way back, maybe about 2 miles, 3 miles or so. They have crossings, going down Central Avenue, but I'm not quite sure how long this train actually is. I believe it's an intermodal. So, it's just sitting there, not doing shit. There's absolutely no sign of this train moving. headlight off. It's just idling there. Oh, just been informed we have power on at the house now. That is awesome. The tornado knocked our power out. We're going on 3 days without power because of the tornado. The tornado had tore up half the block that I live on. Fortunately, it didn't touch our house. But a couple houses down the block, whole roofs were blown off. We had structural collapses and everything. And it was just chaos. It's been chaos down there for the past 2 days. And unfortunately, no one was seriously injured. Definitely no one was killed. But that's definitely a good thing. But what's crazy about that funnel cloud that came through Gary, I was Uber Eats in Chicago driving 57 South and actually drove through the funnel cloud. The rain was coming in sideways. It was knocking my car around. It was knocking the semi trucks around. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I've never, not thinking in my mind, you're basically in a mini tornado right now. And definitely had no idea that that same cloud was headed towards Gary, headed towards my block, roughly about 20 minutes later. And, my mom informed me that one of the neighbors' houses roof was blown off. I was like, what? I didn't think it was that bad. What? Roof blown off. Maybe she's exaggerating. We don't get tornadoes like that in the city. How wrong I was. It was just a tiny little thing. An EF1. So what's crazy about that is I haven't investigated any of the pathways. I know the National Weather Service is working on the storm paths. They might already be out, but I haven't looked at them. But it just seems there's a school in front of our house across the street, Frankie Woods McCullough Academy, and it seems that the tornado hit Hard Rock, the casino, Hard Rock Casino, which is southwest of my house. Blew the doors off over there and came into the outskirts of Black Oak and Terrytown and hit Frankie Woods McCullough Academy. Blew the whole roof off the gym, damaged some classrooms. I mean, it hit that school pretty hard. It didn't destroy it, completely destroy it. But it did a lot of damage to that school, and that school, like I said, that school's right across the street from my house. So after the tornado hit that school, it could have went left or right. If it would have went left, then the tornado would have hit our house. If it would have went right, the tornadoes would have hit the houses down the block from my house. But it went right, and it hit our neighbors' houses very hard. And, those poor people got to deal with that and deal with the insurance and deal with gawkers coming by trying to snap pictures of everything. And some of them might like the attention because, it's news and it's national news now. And, some people might want to experience that. But, our little neighborhood, which is relatively quiet, just suddenly just exploded. And because of this tornado. So we've been out of power for going on 3 days. Like I said, I just right now been informed that our power's back on. But, it's been 2 cold nights. Cold nights. We could have went to a warmer shelter, but nah. Wrap up under some blankets. And the only thing I hate about that is waking up in a cold sweat. But, life goes on. Things have been moving. There were other smaller tornadoes in the region as well that hit other places. That they also had their power knocked out or whatever. But as far as homes being completely devastated, I believe Gary was the only city that experienced that with this particular storm. And CSX is still just sitting here. So, it's been crazy lately, and fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. Fortunately, no one, like I said, was killed. But we don't get tornadoes. Like we get funnel clouds. Every now and then we get water spouts out in Lake Michigan. As far as tornadoes actually creeping into the city itself, that's something that is extremely rare. Extremely rare. I've also been informed that the 16th Street Metro Tower in Chicago is going to be closing next month. And that's unfortunate. I actually know a guy that works there, so he invited me to come to the tower this week. So I'll be going to the Metro 16th Street Tower. I believe it's Metro operations and Canadian National operations there at that tower. And I'm going to be going inside the tower and looking at the equipment and stuff and talking to the guys that work there about the impact that's going to have on them and how CTC is going to be working in that particular area. So we got that coming up for the channel coming up soon. I don't know if you guys have been noticing all these work trucks that's been driving around here. I believe we've had 6 tornadoes, and only one of them was an EF1. The others were EF0 damage. Uprooted trees, down power lines, shingles off of roofs, stuff like that. Spotty all over the region. I think we had 2 or 3 EF0s in Gary and 1 EF1. But, it's just been something to remember. People are going to remember this incident. Last year we had a tornado, a pretty big one, come through here. I believe that was also an EF1, but it was slightly bigger than than this tornado as far as size. But it hit in an unpopulated area, or area that was designated for industry out by Kirkyard. Yeah, I believe it was around the same time of year as well. Yeah, the pictures went viral. I believe some workers at Kirkyard in one of the towers, I believe the West Tower, actually snapped a beautiful photo of that tornado that hit last year. But like I said, that tornado I don't believe did any significant damage to anything, and like I said, it was unpopulated, so it was really nobody out there for that tornado to affect. But as far as this week's tornado, it's something that's unprecedented in the city that has not happened in my entire lifetime of living here in the city. And we had tornadoes hit like US 30 in the past, or Griffith, I believe, but never within the city of Gary proper. It's something that is very odd and unusual. So this is 2 tornadoes within a year's time or so, maybe a little over a year. We had 2 tornadoes touch down in Gary. Only one of them did significant damage to homes. Like I said, it was on my block. My block's power was knocked out, of course, as you may imagine. Gas and power out for 2 days. Now, after the tornado hit, it snowed that same night. It snowed, so you know, power knocked out, homes devastated, roof gone. We already cold because the temperature's dropping, and then it snowed on top of all of that. Like it was one of the worst timing for a tornado. It's not officially spring yet. It's not spring until next month. So just to have a tornado hit and then it snowed right behind it, it's just an unfortunate event. People lost their houses. People were renovating some of the homes that were destroyed, and money's gone. I really don't know all the details about what's going on with those homeowners and their insurance situation. I don't really know those neighbors down there, but I can only imagine the nightmare that they must be dealing with as far as paperwork and dealing with the government and insurance and whatever. I can only imagine. There's another 15 minutes that have gone by and this train has not moved. What's going on? I wish I could tell you. I don't know. She's sitting there. Come on, school bus, move. Yeah, but she's sitting there. It certainly is a lot of traffic coming through here today as well. Like I said, it's been a little bit busy because of the storm damage. There are lots of different companies coming into the nearby NIPSCO facilities. There's one NIPSCO facility that's right here to my left, right across the tracks. And then there's another NIPSCO facility down Central Avenue. Down 15th Avenue. I'm just losing my map. Not Central Avenue. 15th. Okay. Which is right in front of us. That street is right across the tracks over there. This is 15th. And there's another NIPSCO facility down there. So we have two NIPSCO facilities. Tree service people, line and signal people, they've been coming in from all over trying to get the city back into a decent shape. And I know the government is doing everything that they can to try to keep things in order as best as they can considering the circumstances. But yeah. So I know I've been here over an hour just sitting here and this train just fucking sitting here. I've never seen a train sit here this long at this crossing. Like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I heard another train on the CF&E, but that train has been gone. So I don't know if something's going on at Gibson, where the trains have to stop. I don't know what's happening. Usually, the trains have to stop here on this particular line. It's because something is going on at Gibson. It might be another train that's coming eastbound on the CF&E. But like I said, it's been over an hour. gonna give it 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna be out of here. I was trying to catch this train move, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna be moving. I keep telling myself 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 5 more minutes. It's gonna move, and it's just not moving. I don't know if it's broke down, Freddie. I have no idea. I haven't seen any crews walking around that locomotive. I've seen them moving inside of it, but not outside of it. I'm not really sure why that train is just sitting here. And as I said, it's not odd for them to park here. They park here all the time, but it's been here over an hour, well over an hour. Yep, don't look like she's moving anytime soon. I got 3 more minutes, y'all. It's only 2 people watching anyway. I broadcasted this because I didn't want to waste space on my phone recording the actual video just in case this didn't go anywhere. And it seems like it was the best idea because it doesn't look like this train is going to move today. Well, not move today, but move right now. Stash property restoration. It'll be dispatch controlling the gates. CTC controlling the gate. So whenever they do move, it'll be dispatch operating the gate. What I'm not certain about is if there are any timeout features on this gate. If there are, then the gate might be controlled by the locomotive passing, but it's way too close to the crossing. It's about 200 feet east of the crossing. So I'm pretty sure it's probably not a timeout gate. It's controlled by dispatch. I say we have an intermediate and then an absolute signal ahead of us to the west. I don't know what those indications are reading. I guess I could drive over there. more than likely, if the train is stopped here, it might be an all stop indication up there somewhere. I guess we can go figure out what's going on with the signal since nothing's happening here. Take a little ride. Pothole cracks in the street. Ridiculous. We're on our way to CP Thomaston. Try to see if we can get some signal indications. There's nothing happening up there where that train is parked. There are no signals back here towards Broadway to look at. When we get to Grant Street, we'll be able to see if there are any signal indications where we can look at. Like I said, there was a train earlier on the CF&E. There's a train on the CF&E every day between 11:30 and 1:30. At least one. It is an all stop. Intermediate signal down here is an all stop double red. F and E. Intermediate signal is showing double red. Triple. And here on the Porter branch, the indication is reading double red. So both the CF and E and the Porter branch westbound indications are double red. So that either means there's another train coming, sound, is getting priority for some reason, or something going on. Charleston has very bad connectivity issues. But yeah, all the westbound indications on the signals at CP Charleston are all red. So, like I said, it either means there's another train coming or there's something going on with the signals. And I don't know which one it is. More than likely, it's probably a train coming, but why are we having trains just parked for over an hour? That's the part that I don't get or understand. There's absolutely no sign of any eastbound trains coming up the Porter branch or the CFD, so, well, the CFD will be using the Porter branch. So that's a mystery I just don't know, or something could be going on with Canadian National as they cross the Porter branch at Ivanhoe. That could also be another reason why trains are stopped. I wouldn't be able to hear anything going on from where I was if there was any trains on the EJ&E or the CN. You wouldn't be able to know it from back here. I would have to go to what's the name of that control point on 25th? Black Oak. So I guess we can make a cursory trip to control point Black Oak. See what's going on out there. stuck behind a semi truck on 11th Avenue. I got to go around you, brother. Clock road. There's two ways I can play this. I can either go to 9th Avenue, or I can go to Control Point Black Oak on 25th. Where I am on 11th Avenue is 6 one way, half does none. I think I'll go to 9th Avenue first. I go to Canadian National and 9th Avenue first. It's easier to be able to turn around. So here we are on 9th Avenue now, going west from Colfax. I just want to see if there are any trains and signal indications. There's nothing else to do right now. I don't see any trains up here. I mean, it's pretty far back, but the camera makes it seem like it's farther away than what it is. Fucking dump truck in the way. Ooh, these potholes. Nah, ain't no trains up here at all. No trains. And then their westbound indications are also red. And the eastbound indications are red. This is crazy. Everything is red. So So there must be something going on with the signal. It must be. Everything is red. Everything. So the westbound indicators on the Porter Branch and the CF&E, those are also red. And east and westbound indicators on the Canadian National are also red. So there are no trains being allowed right now. Only indicators that I have not seen yet are the indicators on the nickel plate on the Norfolk Southern. And I have to go to CP Black Oak to see those. So fuck it, why not? Let's go to CP Black Oak, see what's going on. I just don't like going there during this time of day because it can get pretty busy there with the traffic. It's not really a lot of good places to be able to turn around. But let's go to CP Black Oak anyway. And it's not that far. We're on 9th Avenue, CP Black Oak is on 25th. About 16 blocks. So if you're just tuning in, we're on our way to CP Black Oak. Check out the signal indicators there. We're already seeing the signal indicators for the Canadian National PJ&E. Those are all red going eastbound and westbound. And all the westbound indicators on CF&E and the Porter Branch at Thomaston, those are all also red. So it seems like no trains are being allowed at the moment. What's going on? I don't know. All I know is there's a parked CSX auto rack at Martin Luther King and Central Avenue, 200 feet from the crossing. And it's just parked there. Been parked there over an hour. I was sitting there for about 45 minutes myself. On 25th. We're going to be getting west on 25th from Colfax. And we're going to check out CP Black Oak. And then I'm going to hit the nickel plate, Norfolk Southern. what's happening out there. See if anything changed on the signal since I came through. Nope, all red going. Everything's red. Everything's red. So that was the Canadian National. I got a speed demon behind me. So I'm gonna pull over and let this motherfucker get around me. Go. Go. I need you to go. So we're approaching the nickel plate now. And let's check them out and see what's going on. Wow, nickel plate is also red. Everything is red. Everything. Everything is red. That's crazy. Eastbound and westbound indicators on the nickel plate are red. I'm gonna go back around just to make sure. Let these cars pass by before I take off. That's why I said I don't like coming down here to Railfan during this time of day, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. This little street can get quite busy, and there's not a lot of great places to turn around. That's a verification. Yep. Everything's red. So this entire area, hold on, we got us a EJ&E coming. Train coming on the EJ&E. Gotta get there. It's coming. Shit. There she blows. Man. So trains do move around here. That's why all those signals were red. All of them. And then the moment I leave, the very moment I leave, so I wonder if that CXX is going to be able to move now since this Canadian National is passing. It's just odd because for a whole hour and something, maybe an hour, 30 minutes, nothing was moving around here. Nothing. All indications were red. I went and drove around and looked at them to see. This is a westbound Canadian National. This is a 3 locomotive manifest. Canadian National won't hire me for shit. I'm probably putting in 5 applications with them over the past 3 years. That's why I was just down at Canadian National and 9th Avenue, and all the westbound indications were red, all the eastbound indications were red. Just like all the westbound indications were red at Charleston. This one definitely going to Kirkyard. Slowing down. This train will eventually stop. I don't think it's going to stop here. go check on his CSX. Yep, got the police out. I just passed the county sheriff, K9 unit. There's another car down here. It's just amazing just how quick conditions can change on the street. Like we had a tree fall. No, they pulled somebody up. I don't know what the hell they're doing. 15th and Bird. I'm gonna take 11th and Bird, go back. Canadian national passing back there doesn't mean that was the only one. It could be another one, and that CSX can still be stopped. Could have been a Norfolk coming. Who knows? I don't know why. Usually westbound trains have priority, so kind of odd. That's Ivanhoe, 11th Jennings. This will be 11th Clark Road here. Coming up, 11th time. Still no signs. Disgusting. Going back to the sea. Connectivity issues at South. There's no sign of that CSX train. still parked here. CSX is still there. All of that. CSX is still parked here. That's wild. You went and did all that. And the CSX train is still just fucking parked here, the same spot. Never have I seen any train parked here this long. That's wild. No, I have to drive to work. I just seen your question. No, you have to drive to Michigan City to clock in. I know that CXS crew is mad. What's going on around here? Well, unlike CXX, I can't sit here all day. It was fun. I'm ending this live. That's crazy.